Yo, what's good, everybody? Hope you're all doing well today, because what we're about to talk about is going to blow your mind. We're talking about something seriously messed up today. Microplastics. These tiny pieces of plastic are everywhere, and I mean everywhere. In our oceans, our food, and even the air we breathe. You know how we're always told to recycle and do our part for the planet? We separate our trash, rinse out bottles, and hope it makes a difference. Well, turns out, even when we try to do the right thing, there's this hidden plastic problem sneaking into our bodies. It's not just about what we throw away, it's about what comes back to us in ways we never expected. Scientists recently discovered something shocking. Tiny pieces of plastic called microplastics have been found in human blood for the first time ever. Yeah, you heard that right. Plastic in our blood, it's wild, right? Imagine hearing that the stuff you use every day could actually end up inside you. We're talking about stuff smaller than a sesame seed, just chilling in our veins, traveling through our bodies without us even knowing. We're just starting to figure out what this means for our health, but it's definitely not good news. Scientists are worried about how these plastics might affect our organs, our immune system, and even our future generations. It's like this invisible enemy that's been there all along, hiding in plain sight. And now we're finally waking up to it. Most of us had no idea it was this serious, so buckle up, people, because we're about to dive deep into the world of microplastics, uncover how they got here, and talk about what we can actually do about them. This is a wake-up call for all of us. So what are these microplastics anyway? Basically, they're tiny pieces of plastic less than 5 millimeters long that come from bigger plastic stuff that breaks down over time. Think about it. Plastic bottles, bags, packaging, all that junk we throw away. It doesn't just disappear. Even if we recycle, it breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces, but it never really goes away. And guess what? Those tiny pieces end up everywhere, in our water, our food, the air we breathe. They're even in things like toothpaste and cosmetics. We're literally washing our faces with plastic. It's a mess, people, a real mess. But before you freak out completely, let's talk about how we can fight back. Here's the thing. Microplastics are like those annoying house guests who just won't leave. No matter how much you clean, they always seem to find a way back in, sneaking into every corner of our lives. These tiny plastic particles are so small you can barely see them, but their impact is anything but invisible. They're everywhere. We're talking oceans, rivers, lakes, you name it. It's got microplastics in it. From the surface of the water to the deepest seabeds, these particles have invaded every aquatic environment on the planet. Even the most beautiful, seemingly untouched places are not safe from this pollution. These tiny particles hitch a ride on the wind, traveling thousands of miles from cities to the most remote corners of the earth. Imagine a plastic bag breaking down into smaller and smaller pieces, carried by the breeze until it lands somewhere you'd never expect, like a mountaintop or a desert far from civilization. And get this, they've even been found in the Arctic snow. That means microplastics are literally falling from the sky, settling in places where hardly any people have ever set foot. It's a chilling reminder of just how far-reaching this problem is. But it's not just the environment that's contaminated. Microplastics are in our food too. Scientists have discovered them in everything from fruits and vegetables to processed snacks, and especially in seafood. It's unsettling to realize that what we eat might be laced with tiny bits of plastic. Think about it. Fish eat them, and then we eat the fish. The plastic moves up the food chain, making its way from the smallest plankton to the biggest predators and, eventually, to our dinner plates. It's a cycle that's hard to break. They're in our salt, our beer, even our bottled water. Everyday items we trust and consume without a second thought are now potential sources of microplastic exposure. It's almost impossible to avoid them completely. It's like they're playing a never-ending game of hide and seek in our food chain. No matter how careful we are, these particles keep popping up in unexpected places, making it a real challenge to keep them out of our bodies. And let's not forget about the air we breathe. Every time we wash synthetic clothes, tiny plastic fibers are released and can end up in our lungs. These fibers are so light they float through the air, settling on surfaces and mixing with dust, making indoor air another source of exposure. So yeah, we're breathing in plastic too. Whether we're indoors or outdoors, microplastics are swirling all around us, entering our bodies with every breath we take. It's a crazy situation, but knowledge is power, right? Now that we know what we're dealing with, we can start making smarter choices and push for solutions. Let's talk about what we can do to protect ourselves and our planet from this invisible threat. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Trevor, so there's some plastic inside me. What's the big deal? Well, my friends, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Scientists are still trying to figure out the long-term effects of microplastics on our health. But here's what we do know, it's not looking good. Some studies suggest that microplastics can mess with our hormones, cause inflammation, and even lead to chronic diseases. They've found these tiny particles in human lungs, placentas, and even babies' poop. That's right, babies are being born with plastic already inside them. It's a scary thought, no doubt about it, but don't despair just yet. There are things we can do to reduce our exposure and protect ourselves. So, what can we do about this microplastic madness? The problem might seem overwhelming, but every journey starts with a single step. Each of us can play a part in turning the tide against plastic pollution, starting right at home and in our communities. The good news is that we have more power than we think. Our daily choices, no matter how small, can create a ripple effect that inspires others and leads to real change. It all starts with making conscious decisions in our everyday lives, being aware of the products we buy and the habits we form. First things first, ditch the single-use plastics. These are the items we use for just a few minutes, but stick around for centuries. Those plastic water bottles, bags and straws, they're everywhere, but we can choose to leave them behind. They're public enemy number one when it comes to plastic pollution, clogging up our landfills and waterways. Invest in a reusable water bottle. It's a simple swap that saves hundreds of plastic bottles each year. Carry a cloth bag for groceries and keep one handy in your car or backpack so you're always prepared. And say no to plastic straws. Bring your own metal or bamboo straw when you're out and about. It's all about making small changes that add up to a big impact. Over time, these habits become second nature and inspire those around you. Another easy win switch to natural fibers when buying clothes. Synthetic fabrics shed microplastics every time you wash them. Every time we wash synthetic clothes, tiny plastic fibers are released into the water, eventually making their way into rivers and oceans. Opt for clothes made from natural materials like cotton, linen or hemp whenever possible. Wool and bamboo are also great alternatives that are gentle on the planet and your skin. And when it comes to food, try to cook more at home using fresh ingredients. This not only reduces plastic packaging, but also gives you control over what goes into your meals. Processed foods often come wrapped in plastic and can even contain microplastics, so the less you rely on them, the better. Cooking from scratch is a great way to reduce your exposure to hidden plastics and enjoy tastier, healthier meals. And hey, it's healthier too. By making these mindful choices, you're not just protecting the planet, you're taking care of yourself and your loved ones. Look, we can't just sit around and wait for governments and corporations to solve this problem for us. We need to take action now. Spread the word. Share what you've learned with your friends and family. Let's make some noise about this. Talk to your local businesses. Encourage them to reduce their plastic use. Support organizations that are fighting plastic pollution. Remember, every little bit helps. The more people who join the movement, the louder our voices become. We can't afford to be silent on this issue. The future of our planet, our health, depends on it. So let's get to work, people. We got this.